All right, hello. Welcome back to Ultra Keller Real Estate. As always, thank you to everybody who's been subscribing to the channels. People who've been, sending me DMs and messages. To get right into it, this topic, make sure you don't overpay for your house. Right now there's a lot of people who are refinancing, they're buying homes because interest rates are super low because of COVID. I've seen interest rates as low as, 2.5. I've seen some other ones like, 2.6, 2.7, and even on the higher end right now, I've seen 3.0, 3.1, which is a great rate. I mean, depending on how much you're borrowing for a mortgage, or even for refinancing, that's damn near like free money. But the main thing to remember is that you cannot overpay for your house, because right now there's so many people, because they're getting hopped up off these low interest rates. Everybody say, hey, it's a good time to buy, which it kind of is. But at the same time, because there's so many people who are trying to buy a house, that means that the prices are getting drawn up like crazy. I'm seeing pretty much no really good deals, all throughout Chicago right now. And I've even looked at some other markets, and I'm seeing the property being listed for more for what even Redfin claims it's worth. And, I don't know how many guys have looked at Redfin, but Redfin usually kind of I feel gives you a little bit of a higher of appreciation than maybe what the actual appreciation value may be, so the main thing, people always talk about the number one rule in real estate, location. I always tell people, in my opinion, the number one rule is do not overpay for your house or the property or whatever you're buying, because even if you buy in the right location, but you overpay for the property, it makes it worse. So I know a lot of people right now, they're so happy because they got a 3.0 or under, rate. But at the same time, they paid 75 grand more for the house than what they should have paid for. If that's the case, you're almost in a worse position than if you had a higher interest rate. And the thing about it is, the market always corrects itself. And, right now, there's a bubble. And, as always, there was 10 plus years ago, bubbles always burst, as there was in the 90s with the dot-com bubble. So when the bubble bursts, you don't want to be on the wrong side of it, being happy because you got a low interest rate, but then you paid 50 plus K for the property that's not worth it. Now you're stuck. And before COVID, I bought a 2-flat in 2019, and October of 2019, so not really that far before COVID hit. And I think my interest rate was 4.5, maybe 4.6. I have to look back at my sheet again, and at the time I had average credit, and I still got a 4.5 rate, and that was before COVID. The difference between a 4.5 rate and a rate that's 2.5, 2.6, when you break it down to how much more money that is on a monthly basis in your mortgage, it's really not that big of a difference. I mean, it may be, I don't have a mortgage calculator right in front of me. It could be $40, $50, $60 per month, depending on, how much the property is that you paid for, or how much you took the loan out for the mortgage for. So even if rates go back to the way they were, before COVID hit, and they go back to 4 point this, 4 point that, maybe even a low 5 something, it's really not that big of a difference. Now I can see if before COVID rates were over 10, then by all means, do what you gotta do, buy a property right now, or at least refinance if you own something. So at the same time, I always tell people that, I'm no financial wizard, but at the same time, I've been looking at properties all the time. I've been in real estate. I bought my first property 10 plus years ago. So just remember, you cannot overpay for the property. You just have to make sure that you're making a sound decision when it comes to buying something, and not just being happy because you got a low interest rate. All right. So as always, thank you again. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you follow me on Instagram, and that's at Ultra Kellon. That's ULTRAKELLON. And if you're watching on Instagram, make sure you find the YouTube channel as well, and that's Ultra Kellon Real Estate. All right, guys, till next time.